Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of the SW Motech center stand installation on a Kawasaki Versys. In this episode, we are going to go through actually mounting all the hardware on. In the last episode, number 1, which you can see on the link here, we went through taking all the plastic parts off to actually get to the mounting bolts and different areas that you need to patch stuff onto. And in this section, we are going to actually be putting the stuff together and finishing the project. So stay tuned.
Alright, so I think I have a portion of the brackets fit together, ready to go in. This is one of the more confusing installations I've ever done. You can see this is all labeled. Each part has a different number. That number corresponds with the packing list of hardware, of which there are many pieces. And the only way to really tell which piece is which is by using one of these guys to actually measure each individual piece, because you can see there's a variety of different spacers and 3 different types of washers, and they're all slightly different widths and different sizes and tons of different bolts. So without a caliper, it would be very hard to figure out what goes where. But I think I've got the first part of the bracket put together. So it's basically the longest bolt you have put together on this L piece with a large washer here, and this, what is the longest spacer piece here, and then this is the second longest bolt, and the kit goes through these pieces like this, and then you have this 40-inch or 40-millimeter spacer that goes through here. There's also a washer, a small washer on this piece, not one of the fat washers. So this, I think, is just going to thread into that hole. So this lines up with that, and that appears to be the way that this bracket fits on. Okay, so now that this is all connected fairly tightly, so we're going to just get everything finger tight. This is a 30-millimeter spacer on the very top bolt. On the second bolt down, this is a 3-millimeter spacer. So it says all this in the instruction manual, but it's not always that obvious. So bigger spacer on the top, littler spacer on the bottom, no spacer on this middle one. Alright, so the mounting brackets appear to be loosely connected now on the right side. We're going to move over to the left side of the bike and get those on. Alright, now we're going to pull the left side foot peg cover. It's 3 6-millimeter Allen bolts here that need to be removed. Okay, so we got this cover off for the left foot peg. It's still being held on by the clutch cable here. We first put this mounting bracket, this smaller kind of crescent-shaped mounting bracket, on here to the bolt that's attached all the way through on the other side. And then we attached this upper mounting bracket to this bottom piece. It wouldn't quite line up on one of the sides, so I had to use a jack stand to jack up one of the sides so it could actually thread. But now that's in. Now the only piece is to remount this back onto this new plate, but there's a very specific spacer system. Some of the spacers have to go on the outside of the plate, and then some of the spacers have to go on the inside of the plate, so you have to follow the instructions pretty carefully. So here is another tricky part. The 3 bolts here are going to stick onto these parts here, except the top and the bottom of the 3 have washers that go on the underside of the plate, in between the plate and the mounting system here, whereas this one mounts directly onto here, and the washer actually goes on this side instead of this side. So this one and this one are mounted on this side, the left side. This middle one is mounted on the right side. So we've got the washer set up on here. We're going to put the top and bottom after we slide them in. Alright, here's a super tip. Start with the bottom screw when you're putting the left side panel back together. Make sure this is facing forward when you do it, because it apparently can swing 180 degrees and go out that way. So start on the bottom, then go to the top, then go to the middle. On the middle, the spacer goes in between the plate and the cover piece. All right, so now everything is put back on. We've got the front plate here, the left side plate behind this cover panel. The cover panel is mounted on the left side plate. The plate that connects the two side plates is now on. Everything is finger tight, and we are ready to actually mount the stand itself with the bushings and all of the pieces there. We're ready to put up the actual stand itself. So we'll get this lined up. Now for another difficult part, getting the spring on. Ta-da! So one of the last pieces is reinstalling some of the plastic covers. This tip just barely runs into the new kickstand. They actually give you a template to cut out like this, where you apply it over here, you tape it on, draw a line there, and that's how you know where to cut. And once you cut it off, it should clear this area perfectly. Alright, so now that we've cut this piece off, it should just fit over here somehow. Yep, look right in there.
And there you have it. The center stand is fully installed. It took just under 3 hours total to install, but it saves a lot of room in the garage. The benefit is you don't have to have the bike sitting sideways, which takes up a ton of room. Instead, it's upright. You can see from this illustration, you save almost a whole foot of storage space, so you can actually park in your garage again. It's really handy to have. As always, thanks again for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Please also subscribe to the channel. We're going to come out with lots of new videos on motorcycles, scooters, and home improvement stuff in the future. Subscribe, thumbs up, and thanks for watching.